The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Today on Aging Horizons, we're going to be speaking with Deborah Sweenley and Nikki Tennis all about the Putting It All Together conference. It is going to be an amazing conference with so many resources for adults with developmental disabilities, their caregivers, and the people working with them. And you are not going to want to miss this incredible information with these two really amazing women. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll give you all those important details about the conference and how you can get involved.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
This is Bill. He just received his new Medicare card and is following some simple rules to protect himself from fraud. He knows to never give out his Medicare, Social Security, or bank number over the phone. And this is Nancy. She knows that to detect any problems, she always reads her Medicare summary notice or Medicare Advantage EOB to make sure the billing is correct. Both Bill and Nancy know that anything suspicious can be reported to Montana SMP at 1-800-551-3191.
45 years, 2 packs a day. It's like $80,000. I thought I was just hurting myself until I fell asleep in a chair with a cigarette. The whole house went up. I lost it all. I knew smoking was expensive, but I never thought it would cost me everything.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, but my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
Welcome to Aging Horizons, brought to you by the Department of Public Health and Human Services. I'm your host, Katie Lovell, and today we have an amazing show for you today. We're going to be speaking with Deborah Sweenley, who's the CEO, and Nikki Tennis, who is the logistics coordinator for the Montana Council for Developmental Disabilities, and all about their upcoming conference, Putting It All Together. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. It's so wonderful to get to talk to you today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. First, tell me a little bit about the Montana Council for Developmental Disabilities. On developmental disabilities. Yeah, tell me a little bit about it.
It's such a long name. So the council has been in existence in Montana since 1971.
Okay.
We are actually 1/3 of the Federal Developmental Disabilities Network in Montana. And so we are a 100% federally funded and 100% federally created entity out of the Public Law 106-402, which is the Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act.
Wonderful.
Our sister programs, so it's a three-legged stool basically.
Sure.
And our sister programs are Disability Rights Montana,
Okay.
which does the legal side of things, and then the Rural Institute out of the University of Montana in Missoula.
Yeah, wonderful. And what is the goal of the council?
Oh goodness.
You have many, I'm sure.
There are so many.
Yeah.
We write a 5-year plan.
Okay.
And in it, we outline and select goals and objectives to meet everything that the people of Montana have told us that they want or need in services. So how do we do that? Every other year we go out and we do a series of surveys. We do some windshield time across Montana, meeting in various communities and just talking to people about what works for them in the service delivery system and in life.
Yeah.
And what doesn't work.
Sure.
And when enough people tell us, we hear a lot of the same things, you know, as you go along, then that helps the council come back and make some selections on what where we want to invest our money. So we are a funding entity.
Okay.
And Montana is a minimum allotment state, so it's not a lot of funding, but it allows us to actually put dollars to work in Montana communities.
Wonderful. And so you have a conference coming up. Tell me a little bit about the conference.
Oh, we are so excited about this conference. Again, based upon what people told us, that they really needed information and they needed accurate information.
Sure.
So we said, we thought we should have a conference, and responding to what people had asked for, we thought, let's make this a great resource and information opportunity. Yeah. And it ranges from soup to nuts. We have a sectional on human trafficking, which is an issue here in Montana.
Absolutely.
Estate planning, wills and trusts, vocational rehabilitation in the juvenile justice system, Medicaid expansion, all the programs that are handled by the Office of Public Instruction, the IDEA legislation. We're so excited about this. To self-advocates, training other self-advocates to be leaders.
Oh,
so people who experience disability they're going to be doing 2 sessions, a panel, and talking about their experiences, the things they've learned, and then helping other people learn to share their information and find their voices.
And where is the conference going to be held?
It's going to be in Butte, Montana.
Okay.
Our central location is the Copper King. And, well, Nikki, do you want to share? I mean, we have really tried to block the town.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Butte has been wonderful at accommodating us for this conference, and we actually have rooms available in room blocks in the Copper King, the Comfort Inn, the Fairfield, Fairmont, the Finland. We have some in the Best Western, the Red Lion. The community's really come together to make sure that we will have the rooms we need to facilitate this amazing conference.
Wonderful. That is amazing, and so great that you have so many different options for folks who need different types of accommodations. That's great.
Yeah.
And when is the conference?
It is October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Great. So people still have time to register.
They do, and in fact, our landing page to register goes live today. But here's the amazing thing about this conference. We're not charging any registration fee whatsoever.
Wow.
I want to share some information on our keynoters, but we feel it is so important for people to have access to this information.
Absolutely.
That, as Nikki was saying on the various lodging options, you can go to the landing page, you can register for the conference, and you get to select the price point that you want to pay for your room.
Wonderful.
But there is no registration fee, nothing. We just need numbers, of how many people are going to be attending, and so we make sure that we have enough rooms at the various. But here's the real amazing part. I think for Montana, we're bringing 2 amazing keynoters.
Yeah.
And Temple Grandin.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she's written like 17 books.
Sure,
She's a woman who is autistic, and if you've ever had the opportunity to read one of her books or see a video clip or whatever, she is amazing, and her view on the world and how it can be is an amazing message to share. So not only is she keynoting our first day of our conference, but then that evening, again at no cost, we're opening it up to the entire Butte community and to anyone else who wants to come at no charge to spend an evening with Temple Grandin, and she'll be doing another evening program.
That's so wonderful.
We're a lot of times people will say, hey, I'd really like to go to this conference and see so-and-so or whomever. Council's idea is, why don't we bring that resource to Montana so everybody can see her?
Absolutely, absolutely. What an amazing opportunity. I want to talk a little bit more about some of the other speakers when we get back. Okay. So I have a few more questions for you. So make sure you stay tuned. We've already talked a little bit about the first day's keynote speaker, but there are more speakers and more amazing information that's going to be presented at the conference. So make sure you stay tuned to Aging Horizons.
You've probably probably seen some big-name celebrities on your TV lately talking about all the Medicare benefits you're missing out on. But the insurance companies who are paying for these ads may be pushing benefits not available in Montana. Fortunately, help is available from a friendly state health insurance assistance program counselor who can help you sort it all out. It's free, and we screen everyone for eligibility regardless of your zip code. It's Montanans helping Montanans. Call today.
Respite. It's okay to need it. It's okay to want it. Will you provide it?
The hard part about having outside help is that there's not a lot of people out there who can do that kind of work. We've been very fortunate that our Bonnie has been with us for 7 years. I don't know what I'd do without her. I need her in our lives. She's our second mother. And I can't help but think of her that way.
To find out how to change lives, including your own, call 800-224-6034 or visit respite.mt.gov.
Did you just text me?
I didn't want to disturb you if you were sleeping.
Sleeping? I'm sitting right next to you, silly.
There you are. Hey, I found a couple of Medicare helping programs online that I think we ought to look into.
It says if we qualify, we can get help paying for our prescription drugs. Oh, and there's a program that can help pay our Part B premium.
To learn more about extra help and Medicare savings programs, call your local SHIP counselor today.
Maybe I better text him.
Welcome back to Aging Horizons. Today we are doing some really great information from Deborah Swingley and Nikki Tennis, who are talking to us from the Montana Council on Developmental Disabilities, all about their upcoming conference. So Deborah, we talked about that amazing first day keynote. Let's talk about day 2.
Oh gosh, day 2. So our keynoter for the second day is an amazing musician named Daryl J. Williams.
Okay.
He's a Grammy Award-winning recording artist, who also just happens to have a pretty outstanding anti-bullying campaign.
Wonderful.
So, again, you know, I like to say our jobs are all about relationships and how we talk with people, and you know, so we were able to have Daryl come to do the keynote. He's coming for the keynote, and then he said he'd be happy to do a concert for us.
Oh my gosh.
So again, at no cost. So Daryl will do our kickoff keynote on the second day. We'll continue through that day's programming. And then that evening we're doing a gala function, and one of the things that will be there are the service awards. So we're partnered with the state on that, on like direct support professionals from each region that will be acknowledged, and they'll have an opportunity to talk. We have Mike Beers, who is a comedian from Montana.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard of him.
I've heard of him, yeah.
So he's going to come and do a set for us, and then Daryl's going to do a concert for like an hour and 15 minutes or so. And then just in case you still have some energy left,
oh my gosh,
at 10 o'clock we have High Ore Road, a musical group out of Butte, and we are going to have a dance from 10 till midnight.
Oh my gosh.
So
you ladies know how to plan a conference.
Well, we tried to cover, you know, it's kind of the gathering of the clan, and since we went through COVID and all of the things, and people, we do Zoom meetings and that sort of thing, I think it's really important for people to come back together and have this opportunity.
Absolutely.
And these amazing speakers. We are just so blessed to be able to do it. And speaking of being blessed, I do want to share with you, Town Pump has been so gracious. They are donating $5,000 to us for gas gift cards. So for people who, again, there's no registration fee, but if you're driving from far eastern Montana or wherever, we've calculated, you know, like if you come more than 200 miles, you get a $100 gift card, and then, you know, don't pin me down to that exact figure, but we're setting up that scale.
Sure.
But your fuel costs will be defrayed.
Oh my gosh.
And you'll get that gift card when you get to the conference.
That is so important to allow people to get there and get that information.
Well, it is, and how marvelous that, I mean, really the financial impact on families, it could be massive, and we're trying to make it as minimal as possible to get the maximum people there. So, and also I need to acknowledge the Butte Tibid, that's their lodging hospitality district, and they have been very gracious. We were able to apply for some funds that they have given us so that we can offset Temple Grandin's some of her expenses.
Wonderful.
So the community has rallied around it, and businesses, and we're just so fortunate.
You gotta love the Butte community. They're so great.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So Nikki, there's some really interesting things like a vendor fair going on. So tell me a little bit about that.
So we do have room for additional vendors right now. We can have up to 20 vendors.
Okay.
And if you're interested in being a vendor for the conference, you can reach out to us directly at our office number. And what's really great is this is an opportunity for them to also have a free spot.
Sure.
We are not charging our vendors. They are bringing something for us to put in a raffle.
Wonderful.
So there's not a cost to be a vendor. So we'd love for people to reach out so that they can get a spot before they fill up.
Yeah.
And additionally, just to accommodate everybody and to make things run smoothly, we have it set up for there to be a shuttle from all of the hotels in our hotel blocks.
Wow.
On the hour, every hour, just to ensure that if you need to go back to your room for a little bit, you can still come back. We want to really make this as accessible as possible.
That is so wonderful. I mean, you really have thought of everything to make sure that people get to come to this conference. And just who is the audience of the conference? Who are you hoping comes?
Goodness, we hope families.
Yeah.
And it could be parents of children all the way up to through adults, people who experience disability themselves, stakeholders, people who are professionals in the field of actually not only human services, but with case managers, regional managers, providers who do the amazing work that they do. We're hoping that we can get some of them and their staff there. So just to have this opportunity to share information, because in addition to what people our speakers are giving them, just that opportunity to do what we're doing right now is to talk and share is going to be huge.
I think it's so important for stakeholders to get to have conversations with people who are actually living with a disability, because I feel like that voice is so often overlooked. They're not often at the table, so that's so wonderful.
And that truly is a watchword for the council. I mean, it is, we are all in this together, and it like on our council, at least 60% by federal law of our members need to be people with who experience disability or family members. And we've always been very definite in Montana that those need to be equal numbers.
Sure.
You know, you can't have all it be parents and then one or two folks who experience disability. So it's marvelous to see, you know, people often say, well, what's your job? And I say, you know,
what isn't my job?
Well, it's their bus and they're driving it, and I just get to change the oil. You know, I make sure that the motor runs, and that's really it. So that's kind of our thought on the conference, is that we want it to be something for everyone that would come away and say, I learned something, or I can take this back and use it. The other thing is, we firmly believe that accurate information is necessary for effective advocacy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we want people to get correct information. It shouldn't matter where you live in the state. If you ask a question, you should get the same answer, regardless. And so we just want to bring that fact back home at this conference, that if the person who's doing that presentation tells you that this is the answer to your question, it shouldn't change once you leave.
Ladies, thank you so much. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the council itself and how you plan these conferences. So make sure you stay tuned, because we've got more great information for you.
Can you say ombudsman?
Ombudsman. Benson?
Uma Doodlesman? Fortunately, you don't have to say it right to get the help of a long-term care ombudsman. If you or a loved one reside in assisted living or long-term care, an ombudsman can help resolve any issue. And these services are completely free and confidential. Now, why don't you try that again?
Ombudsman.
I was the last guy you'd expect to get diabetes. I was a competitive runner, and I always took care of myself. So when I was diagnosed, it kind of threw me. But it's really encouraging to know I'm not alone with it. There are a lot of other people going through the same things as I am. It takes some effort. You have to keep after it. Exercise, meds, and diet are the key. But there are a lot of folks who want me to succeed. Diabetes is not the end of the world. With effort and attitude, you can have a normal life.
I think the most pleasant surprise when we turned 65 and signed up for Medicare Part B was finding out about our Welcome to Medicare preventive visit.
It was free, and it gave us the opportunity to visit with our doctors and establish a plan for our health going forward.
They reviewed our medical history, measured our height, weight, blood pressure, and counseled us on other risk factors.
To learn more about Medicare's free or low-cost preventive and wellness benefits, call your local SHIP counselor at 800-551-3191. I mentioned it's free, right?
Twice.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
Welcome back to Aging Horizons. We are talking about an amazing conference, Putting It All Together, that's being put on by the Montana Council on Developmental Disabilities. We are speaking with Deborah Swingley and Nikki Tennis. Thank you both so much for being here. I want to know a little bit more about the council. How did it come into being?
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you for asking that question. The council was actually created in Montana state statute in 1971, following the passage of the first Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act. So we were housed in state government, always 100% federally funded. There's never been state dollars in the program ever since inception. I joined the council in 1986, and we have seen just some amazing extensions or new interpretations of the DD Act, which is quite lovely. So we. So one of the things, our mandate under the law is capacity building, advocacy, and systems change activities. And most people go, oh,
that sounds like a lot.
Great. So how do we do that? Well, we talk to the people of Montana. We would never assume that collectively in the room, even with our membership, that we are the experts. It's the people whose these are their lives. Sure. And some of the greatest information we've ever gotten is sitting across a table like this with somebody, just talking about their lives. So we get a lot of families who will call us at any point in time in the year, not just when we're seeking that information. Sure. They want to keep us updated on what's going on with their families, or if there's a problem, and sometimes we can nudge your door a bit to get them some additional help and some resources. So additional to putting things on like this council, there are years when the council actually creates a funding mechanism that we put out for competitive bid around a certain subject. And some of those have been, we did the Coordinated Transportation Handbook, which many transit systems have been set up across Montana with utilizing that, that information. We took transition training, now transitioning being from high school into adult services. We took that down and started it in the 6th grade and followed those kids until they graduated from high school to see if that much early planning had an impact, and it did. So things that we learned, sometimes we can experiment somewhat with our funds, and if it is successful, then we can say, look, this is proven now, maybe you could pick it up, the state could pick it up as a service option.
And how do people get onto the council?
Well, by federal law, the governor makes all the appointments to the council, and he does. There is I think it's is it apply? It's the Boards and Commissions office. I'm sorry, I don't want to quote the address wrong. But you can go online and fill out that application and say which board you're interested in.
Wonderful.
And then they will make appointments as vacancies come up.
That's wonderful.
So it's really exciting. I've seen just amazing things happen around the table. We do have 5 representatives of the programs that support people with disabilities. So VR, Title 19, which is Medicaid, Title 5, Maternal and Child Health, OPI. And sometimes a problem will present itself at the table, and everybody's just working together, and things get resolved for families. And we think the council members are our best ambassadors across the state. So yes, they do come to Helena for a meeting. They take that information and go back into their home communities and share that. And so it's one more, I could be a talking head from Helena and a big deal, but if I'm your neighbor who experiences the same problem,
absolutely. And I imagine the resources and the issues that folks run into are so different in Ekalaka than in Bozeman, and then different in the Yak as they are in Helena, and you just really have to have that statewide presence.
Yes, you do. And that's one of the things about the council. We have to represent the ethnic and geographic balance of the state. So it's interesting, sometimes you can do anything if you're, that's what we're told, you can do anything if you're in Missoula or Helena or Billings, and somewhat that's true, but if you're out in Plentywood, or as you said, Alzada or Ekalaka, the world looks pretty different.
It's much different, much different. And when you talked about, one of the things I thought was so interesting when you talked about the conference planning is that you do a survey of what people are what information that they're looking for. Tell me a little bit about that process.
Well, that's part of our information gathering activities to make sure that what we have identified in our plan, we're still on target. Because things change. And 5 years is, I don't know how good your crystal ball is, but sometimes it's
terrible.
I know, but 8:15 on a Monday, mine's pretty foggy. But so we continue to ask people what is the burning issue that they have, and that gives us an opportunity then to amend our plan with the federal government, and they've always been very good in working with us on it. But things change, and one of the things that there's a lot of discussion on right now is either guardianship or supported decision making. And so we want to. Our goal isn't to say this is right or that's right, or this is wrong or that's wrong. Ours is to present information to families so they have a vetted picture on both sides, and then they can make a decision.
Absolutely. I just want one more overview of the conference. So tell me again, it's in Butte, Montana.
Butte, Montana, centered at the Copper King. That's where all the events are going to be held. It's October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The 22nd, it's a start at 1 o'clock. Full day, a long day on the next day, on the 23rd, and then a half day on the 24th.
Great, wonderful. And then folks go to the website to register?
Correct.
Wonderful.
To our landing page.
Can vendors register at the website too, or they need to give you a call?
They should call.
They should call our office.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, ladies, I just appreciate you being here so much. This was such wonderful information. I can't wait to register for the conference. I'm doing it the moment I leave here. I think it's going to be such an amazing opportunity. Thank you so much. And thank you for staying tuned to Aging Horizons. I hope you learned so much today. Make sure you get out and get a registration done, because you are really not going to want to miss that conference. And you're not going to want to miss me boogieing it out on the dance floor at 10 o'clock at night. So make sure you register. And if you need any more information, give these wonderful women a call, because so much knowledge and wealth of information there. So thank you for staying tuned to Aging Horizons, ladies. Thank you so much.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.